learning the song Amazing Grace. We're going to have two different sections to it. The first part is going to be a little more advanced, as it is a solo ukulele song. And then the second half will be chords and a strum pattern. So let me go ahead and show you it. So that's the solo, and then the chords. So those will be the two different ukulele parts that we've learned today. And so the beginning part is a little bit harder, but it's super fun. It sounds really, really pretty on the ukulele. I really enjoyed playing it. Thank you. So yeah, it's really pretty. We're gonna start with the chords and the strum pattern so that we can start with the little bit easier option, and we will also try to sing to it as well. And then once we do that, we will move on to the solo. So we are using 3 chords today. That's the whole song. It's just 3 chords, which is great. So the 3 chords are C, F, and G7.
What's G7?
G7 looks like this.
I can't see because...
So 1 finger on the 2nd string. 2 finger goes on the 3rd string, 1, 2, 3. And the 3rd finger goes on the 1st string on the 2nd fret as well. So I actually am going to share my screen with you real quick. Just if anyone wants to take a screenshot of any of these chords, you can. So you're going to see my phone background. So here's the C chord. I did a picture of me playing it, but I actually have, I'm going to open split screen view for you real quick so you can see both. So here's the C chord on the ukulele, and also as a chord chart. So it's your C. It's on that bottom string, the all cats eat apples, or good cats eat apples. So it's on that A string, and we're playing the 3rd fret with our 3rd finger, shown in both pictures. The next one that we'll be playing is an F chord. Oops, that's G7. Here's our F chord. So above you'll see the chord chart. You're going to be using your 1 and 2 fingers to play that chord. And then, like I said, below is a picture of my fingers doing it. So feel free to take a screenshot or any of these. I will also be sending these out in an email for the people who attended the Zoom class. So that way if you forget or you need more help, you can always get it afterwards.
How do you do a screenshot like on a computer?
You may not be able to do it on a computer. I think there's like a little button that says print screen on a keyboard that might take a screenshot, but I'm not totally sure. But like I said, because you're in the Zoom class, you'll actually get an email with all of these photos in it, okay? But for anyone else, take a screenshot who's not in the Zoom class. And the last one we're using is a G7 chord. So the G7 above is shown there on the chord chart where you are using your 1 finger. You can kind of see the little numbers below on there, 2, 1, 3. And then you'll see a picture of my fingers doing it as well. So all 6 of these photos will be sent out, as well as the actual song with the chords on it as well, that I will be showing a little bit later. Okay, cool. So I'm going to come back to here. I need to go out of this.
Yeah.
1 second. All right, cool. I'm back. Cool. So those are our 3 chords that we'll be using today. So C, F, G7. Okay. So the order of the chords is actually C, F, C, G7. So we're going to be playing that that C chord twice in the progression. A chord progression is just the order of chords that we repeat throughout the song. So again, the order that we are doing is C, F, C, G7. Okay. Yeah, and if any of them are a little bit difficult for you, just slow it down, especially that C to G7. So from C to G7, just to slow it down a little bit more, you just scoot your 3 finger over to the 2nd fret and then add your other 2 fingers. That way it's nice and controlled. So from C, scoot it down and add your other 2 fingers on there, G7. Very good. Yep. Yep, perfect. Good job. Awesome. So now we're going to add a strum pattern. So our strum pattern is, I'm going to count first. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. Or if you like hearing the down and ups, it's down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. Okay, so I like counting a little bit better. Kind of gives me a little bit clearer direction. So when we have 5 and 6 and, you're just down, up, down, up. So go ahead and just, to practice this real quick, go ahead and mute your ukulele. To mute the strings like that, all you do is you put your hand over the frets, but just don't push down hard or else it'll play something. But just lightly touch it so it doesn't play anything. Just so we can practice just the strum pattern. So I'm going to count out loud. Again, before I do that, it's down, 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 and then down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. Okay, let's try it like 4 times in a row. Down, 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 up, down, up. Down, 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 up, down, up. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. Okay. Alexa, can you show me what that looks like so I can see if you got it?
Wait, no.
Yeah, that was almost it. Exactly. So I would recommend counting out loud to make it a little bit easier on yourself. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. Try that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and.
There you go. Very good. 5 and 6, and is just down, up, down. Very nice.
I'm used to playing like this. That strum pattern.
Right, yeah, so there's different strum patterns that you can use. Actually, my entire last class, the last ukulele class, was all about strum patterns. So if you actually want to learn more, and this goes for anybody watching, the previous ukulele class that I did last Thursday was all about strum patterns. We actually took the same 4 chords and did 4 different songs, which in itself is super fun because I did this fun little mashup thing. But I did 4 different strum patterns. So if you want to learn more strum patterns and you tend to just stick to one, I highly recommend you go back and watch that video. So today we are using another strum pattern, and this one, it has 6 beats, which it feels a little weird at first, but I'm just counting up to 6 for this one. The rest of them I think we're in 4/4. So we're going to play C, and we're actually going to do this strum pattern twice for the C chord. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. So let's go ahead and try that together. Alexa, can you mute your microphone for me, please? Just one more strumming. So let's go ahead and try it together. We're going to do that C chord twice, the strum pattern twice for the C chord. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. And don't worry, you'll get more and more practice as we keep going through this video, but definitely you want to make sure you take whatever you learned today from this class and make sure you're practicing it throughout the week, because we still have to get to the more advanced part. So we got to fly past this. All right, after the C, we're going to go to the F chord, and we're going to do the strum pattern just once. So play your F and let's do the strum pattern together just once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we go back to C, and pretty much every time you play a C, you're gonna play that strum pattern twice. So let's play C and play the strum pattern twice again. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now we're gonna slide down to that G7. So move your 3 finger down to the 2nd fret and form that G7, and then we're just gonna do the strum pattern once for this one as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then we go back to that C and do the strum pattern twice. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and sorry, I just swallowed my slip. So that's really all that's happening for this song, and so let me kind of show you it all together. I showed you in the beginning, but I want to show you with some singing. So it's Amazing Grace, how sweet, sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. So that's kind of how the chords go together. I think I actually messed up the strum pattern while I did that, but that is how at least the chords and the singing go together. So we're gonna try it one more time, all the way through the chords, going from C to F, C to G7, back to C. Like I said, every time we do the C, we do the strum pattern twice. So ready? Start on C, do the strum pattern twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am sorry, I keep messing that up. Let's try it again. Just kidding. I was tricky. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and F. Only once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and back to C twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now to that G7, only once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then back to the C twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and all right, good job. So I did see that when we got to that G7, it slowed down a little bit, Alexa, but it's okay. Just keep practicing. That's the goal, is that you just learn it here and then you keep practicing it here. And as you can see, I even messed up. I keep forgetting the strum pattern as well, because there are a lot of strum patterns that could go with that. This is just the one I chose for today, because I think it goes well with it. All right, so now we're gonna switch over, and like I said, if you have any questions about that, I do try to leave the last few minutes open for questions if we have time, and then if you were in the Zoom class, you will get an email with the chords we used, so you'll have a little bit more given to you after. All right, so now we're gonna go to the solo. So just to remind you, this is what it sounds like. Okay, so that's what we're about to learn. All right, so we're gonna start with your one finger on the second string. So we count from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can remember that this is your E string. Good cats eat apples, or goats can't eat anything, however you wanna think. Either way, that's an E. So we're gonna start on the 3rd fret of the E string with your one finger. And if you need a review, 1, 2, 3, 4, your thumb doesn't get a number, these are your finger numbers. So one finger on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, and you just play that by itself. Okay. Now you're just gonna move your one finger down to a C position, but we're playing the C with our one finger instead of our 3rd finger, and you're gonna strum the whole thing. So far we just have, which which is amaze. Now here, it gets a little complicated. We're gonna do, we're gonna be doing that, okay? So we start on the 5th fret, and we're gonna do a hammer on to the 7th, which means you play the 5th fret first, and then you're gonna hit that 7th fret with your 3rd finger, kind of hard, so that you get that hammer on sound.
What fret?
The one finger is on the 5th fret.
And what's on the 7th fret?
Our 3rd finger is on the 7th fret. So we use our 1 and our 3rd finger for this part. So we start on that 5th fret, and then we're gonna hammer on to the 7th. So you're only gonna strum it once. And you're gonna try to get that sound. So you're gonna hold out 5, play the string, and try to hit that 3rd finger down on the 7th fret so you get that. If that's too hard for right now, just play both notes. Just play 5 and then play 7. That's totally fine too. Okay, so if you can't get the hammer on yet, just strum each one, 5, 7. Okay, after you do the hammer on onto the 7, you're gonna do a pull off of the 7, which means as you take your 7 off, your 5 finger, the 1 finger should still be on the 5 finger. You are going to pull that finger off so that it kind of strums that 5th fret. So I'm gonna just try that real quick. So play the 7, play the string, and then pull that finger off while you hold your 1 finger still on the 5th fret, and that'll give you a pull off. Okay, so far we have a hammer on and then a pull off. So from 5, we hammer on to 7, and then we pull it off. Okay, and so we really only pick that first one. However, if you're having issues with this one, with the hammer on and pull off, you can just play them individually. You could just play 5, 7, 5. That's fine too, if you need to make it a little easier. Okay. And then after that, you're gonna go to 3. So we have 5, hammer on to 7, pull off of 7, and then go to 3. And that's actually gonna be a slide. So all that happens in 1. When it's fast, it looks like this. Okay, so I know that that's a little harder. So I would just practice it really slow, play the 5, hammer on, pull off, and then slide down to 3. Yes?
So is it like, wait. That?
Yeah, so just play the 5 first before the 7. So play 5. So if you're not doing the hammer-ons and pull-offs, just do the 5, 7, 5, 3. You can play it like that as well. 5, 7, 5, 3. Go ahead and try that. One more time. Make sure you start on the 5.
Isn't this 5?
You're actually playing 7, 5, 7. So make sure you start with just that 1 finger down on the 5. So you can't have a finger in front of it or else it'll play the finger in front of it. So you want to make sure you just play 5. So you see how right now you have a finger on 7? You got to take that one off. You can only have one on 5 right now. There you go. Very good, yes. So for anybody else watching, that is what you can do if this is a little hard. If that's hard, the hammer on pull off slide, just play 5, 7, 5, 3, and you can work on speeding it up. And then eventually getting to the hammer on pull off slide. Okay. So after, well, actually, let me review what we've done so far. So we started on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string, all by itself. We played a C chord with our 1 finger, and then we did that whole 5, 7, 5, 3. Okay. Now we're gonna go to what looks like a G7 shape, but we're gonna do it, oops, all the way up on the 6th and 7th fret. So take your G7, which we actually learned earlier in the song, instead of on the 1st and 2nd frets, you just scoot it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it should be on the 6th and 7th fret now. Okay, so you want to take that G7 shape and put it all the way to where your 1 finger is on the 6th fret. So after you do that, you go all the way up here,
Wait, how much does it go up? I mean,
You should be on the 6th fret. So your one finger, just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And your one finger should be on that 6th fret, and then that's where you form that G7 chord.
So.
It's actually a C7 now. Yeah, so if it takes a minute, just like I said, to go at your own pace. That's fine. You can always watch this video and practice. Yes, very good. Nice job, Alexa. That we got that. Now just slide the one finger down 2 frets. So don't let go of this pattern. Slide it down 2 frets. So now you're on the 4th and 5th fret, but then slide your 3 finger out to where it's on its own fret. It's not sharing the same fret as the 2 finger anymore. It slides out. So you're on the 4th, 5th, and 6th fret. But it's the same. But you should be on the 4th and the 4th fret. Your one finger should be on the 4th fret. That's a little too high on the ukulele. But that was right shape. Yes.
So 4th fret like this?
Yes. Very good. Go ahead and play that. Oh, I'm sorry. I lied. It's the 3rd fret. Your one finger should be on the 3rd fret. That was my bad. Very good. So we just came from that G7 shape on the 6th and 7th fret, which is actually C7. And then we slide that down to the 3rd fret and kind of separate the fingers. And then you just move your one finger all the way down to the 1st fret, and you let go of that 2 finger, and you just play the bottom 2 strings. So at this point, your one finger is on the 1st fret on the 2nd string, and your 3rd finger is on the 3rd fret, 1st string. And you just play those 2 strings. Yeah, exactly. And you just play the bottom 2. Very good. And then you play open. So just lift up that finger. So you just play 0. So just 0. You just strum this. You just strum the string on the A string. Just the one string. The 1st string. So this is the 4th string. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 1st string. Just strum it by itself. And then we're gonna play the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. But you're gonna strum it up to that 2nd string. So you're gonna strum the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. You won't strum this one. Very good. So let me show you everything that we've done, because I know we've done a lot. I know it's hard to keep up with. And I am going to try to write this out on tabs later today, and then I'm going to send it out as well. So just to review what we've done, we started here on this 3rd fret, 2nd string, strummed a C chord, did our little 5, 7, 5, 3. And then we played the C7 chord, which was the G7 shape on the 6th and 7th fret. We scooted that down to the 3rd fret, spread out. And then we scooted it down again, down to the 1st and 3rd fret, and just let go of that 2nd finger. Strum the bottom 2 strings. And then we did open A string. And then played a 3 on the 2nd string and strummed those 3 strings. So I know I'm kind of going fast, but we're just going to get through all of it, and then we'll go through questions at the end, okay? So now we're going to strum. So keep your 3 finger there on that 2nd string where we just left off. You're actually going to do that again. So you're going to strum the top 3 strings up here, the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Okay. Now you're going to go to this shape right here where your one finger is on the 4th string, the highest string. You're going to put your one finger on the 2nd fret, and then you're going to use your 3 finger on the 1st string on the 3rd fret. Can you hear that? Perfect. Nice job.
That's really pretty.
I like that chord too. It is really pretty. You can just play that song. If you can't do the whole song, just do that one chord. After we do that, we're going to do that 3, 5, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3 again. We're going to do this part. We're going to do that thing again. So if you can't do the hammer on, pull off thing, I do recommend just doing it really slow. And then sliding. But for right now, let's just play 5, 7, 5, 3. Okay, so just separate it.
So.
Very nice. So we just did. This one's a little bit of a stretch. So it looks like this. Your one finger is on the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And then your forefinger, which is your pinky, is going to be on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th fret on the 1st string. And you're just going to play those 2 strings.
On the 7th?
7th, yeah. So you're on the 3rd and 7th fret. And you play those 2 strings together. It's okay. And then you're going to, again, make a G7 shape, but this time it's going to be on the 4th and 5th fret. So make that G7 shape and move the one finger up until the 4th fret. And strum that. Yeah, it's going to create this very dissonant chord, but it sounds really cool put together. And then you just end on a C chord. There you go. So I will go very, very slowly, but let's go through the whole song. And I'll try to explain it as we go through the whole thing, okay? So we start on that 2nd string on the 3rd fret. So we're gonna go through the whole thing. So we just play that one note. Go and play that one note.
Wait, sorry, wrong one. Wait.
You should be on the 3rd fret. So we're starting on, I just wanna make sure we start on the right note. So 3rd fret, 2nd string. There you go. And then we play a C chord. Then we do 5, 7, 5, 3, or the hammer on pull off slide. Very good. We move up to the G7 shape that is on the 6th and 7th fret. Very good. We scoot our one finger down to the 3rd fret and allow the fingers to spread out over 3 frets. Very good. And then we scoot the whole thing down 2 more frets so that you're on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd frets, but then you take off your 2nd finger. So you're just on the 1st and 3rd fret. And then you open. You just play the A string by itself, not playing anything there. And then you play the 3rd fret on that 2nd string, and you strum the top 3 strings, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. You strum that again. That starts our next sentence. We play the super pretty chord that we talked about earlier, where your 2nd finger, you're on the 2nd and 3rd fret. We do that 5, 7, 5, 3 thing again. Or
sorry.
And then we play the G7 shape where the one finger starts on the 4th fret. Or I'm sorry, actually I skipped this part, my bad. Sometimes it's hard to do it slow. We go to this one, my bad. We're on the 3rd and 7th fret on the 2nd and 1st string. Use your 1 and 4 finger, don't use your 2. You want to use your outside fingers just because it's a big stretch. There you go. Now we go to that G7 shape where your one finger is on the 4th fret. Which I really like this chord. Sounds kind of harsh, but it's interesting. And then we end on the C chord. Very good. Yeah, and once you hear that in context, that little, that chord sounds really nice in the song. So very good. Nice job. I know that one's a little harder, but I definitely recommend once you've gone through the lesson, going back to the beginning where I give the example of the song. That way you can try your best to play through it, or even going through what we just did again, just where I kind of talk you through it until you can kind of remember what's going on. Okay, and then just to review what we did in the very, very beginning of the lesson, we did the chords. So let's just go over that real quick. So we're going to do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 now. Go through that part, okay? So we start on C. Every time you play a C, you do it twice. And then you play F, then you go back to C, play it twice, do G7, and back to C, and play it twice. So ready? We're gonna go kind of, so I will say the counts, so I won't sing it. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and F. F, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and C, and 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and G7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and C, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and. Okay? So I know it's hard at first to get the transitions, but that's fine. Just slow down, practice that throughout the week. So I think would be fun is to just do that solo in the beginning and then go to that, and you can sing it. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I forgot what comes next. But anyway, that's where we kind of stopped. So I guess at the end you could hold the G7 a little longer. Just it depends on how long you want to hold your main chord. So overall, I would practice the chords, transitions, practice the strum pattern, and then practice that solo. So let's go ahead and practice the solo one more time as it is the harder part of the song. And then I will open it up for any questions that you may have. All right, ready? Let's start from the very beginning. So one finger on the 3rd fret, 2nd string. Go ahead. There you go. C chord. 5, 7, 5, 3. You can get faster. Super slower. There you go. G7 shape on the 6th and 7th fret. Very good. Move it down to the 3rd, 4th, and 5th fret. And then move it down to the 1st and 3rd fret and take off the 2 finger. And you just play those bottom 2 strings. And then just open on the A string and then 3 on the E string. And then keep your 3 finger there, strum the top strings. And just the top strings. Play it again. You're going to go to this chord. We're on the 2nd and 3rd fret.
What chord?
This one. We're on the 2nd fret up here and the 3rd fret down here on the G and A strings. We're going to do that 5, 7, 5, 3 thing again. So again, you can. There you go. And now we're on 3 and 7 on the bottom 2 strings. 3 right here, 7 up here. And then we go to, oh, I'll wait for you. Go ahead. There you go. Now the G7 shape on the 3rd and 4th fret.
What?
The G7 shape on the 4th and 5th fret.
So like this?
Yep. And then on the C chord. Very nice. Good job. So, okay. So I would practice doing the solo in general. Nice and slow, practice the parts that are difficult for you. and then also practice little chord parts. That way you can sing it afterwards or combine them. Yeah. So Alexa, do you have any questions about anything you learned today?
No. But can I tell you something real quick? You know the thing that was just ringing that I had to go stop ringing real quick? You know how the class, I think you...
I apologize. Go ahead and repeat yourself. As soon as you started your question, someone called me and it muted your microphone. Go ahead.
So for that thing, you know how the ukulele class, I think, used to be like at 1? Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Didn't the ukulele class like used to be at 1 p.m.?
No. It's been at 12. The singing class that I teach is on Mondays. It's at 1 p.m.
Oh, well, I always thought it was at 1 p.m. So I put an alarm like to be like 15 minutes early, and that's what it was. And I forgot to like stop it because when I knew it was 12 p.m.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. It's good for everybody. You know, the ukulele class is every Thursday at 12, and then our singing class that I also teach is on Mondays at 1. All right. Did you have any other questions specifically about the song? Well, we have time for it.
No.
No? All right. Awesome. Good job. It's a hard song. It's a super pretty song that I learned on the ukulele, and it makes me really excited to practice. So I hope you enjoy it. So I will go ahead and leave the floor open for James. Mr. James.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Elizabeth. I love that song. I love the class today. It was great. I have a question from Lori on what's the best tuning app to use for tuning the ukulele. Especially they don't have today their ukulele was untuned when they checked on Facebook. What's the best like free app that somebody can download for tuning?
I use Guitar Tuna, and it actually has an ukulele setting on it as well. So you can use that. I also Ultimate Guitar Tabs is a constant app I'm using to find chords for songs or tabs, and on there they also have a tuner for a whole bunch of different tunings for guitar and stuff, but they also have an ukulele standard tuning as well. So I probably recommend Guitar Tuna. I'm not sure if you have to pay for it though to have the ukulele tuning. So I guess if you want the easiest, cheapest, or free app, I would use a chromatic tuner, which you can definitely get for free. Just look up chromatic tuner in the Play Store or Apple Store, and that will tune any instrument. You just have to know what the strings are. So G, C, D, A.
Perfect. Okay, cool. And for anybody who is listening in, if you've never seen Guitar Tuna, I'm glad that you mentioned that one. I forgot about that one. But that one's got a really cool feature that when you're close, it has this little bell that goes off, and you can watch the frequency go into the right spot. Dude, I didn't realize that they actually you could separate instruments for tuning. So that's a really cool feature. And I think it's only like $2 to get. So, and it's a great tuner. So, for people who have Android, I use SmartChord. It's not the greatest tuner, but it's a really cool app because it has a lot of features to it, but it is free. You can pay for the version or you can get the free version. I have the free version. I like free. So outside of that, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Thank you for Alexa for joining us in the classroom, and we will see everybody next week. All right, we're gonna log off. Oh, last thing, if you're in the class, or if you've been participating online today and you want a copy of the PDF for the chord charts that Miss Elizabeth showed today, a copy of the sheet music, stuff like that, email us or message us directly so we can make sure to add you to the emailing list for all of that going out to make sure that we don't miss you for those classes. And then also, as Miss Elizabeth asked earlier today, if anybody was struggling with strumming patterns or any other ideas, message us, let us know, because I'm sure we've already done a class on it that we can send you the video for, and you can keep up to speed with everything that's happening. All right, outside of that, have a great week, everybody, and we will see you on Monday in Miss Elizabeth's vocal class.